Hello, hello, RGL, dear friends, family, everyone around the world. My name is Princess Natalie, the Retro Gaming Idol. You know me as Lyra and Chops. I got a new mic, new headset, new everything. New PC isn't... It's actually sitting on my floor currently. I haven't adjusted and finished up that yet, but hey. I need to turn Kirby down a little bit. There you go. Alright, so Kirby Superstar here. This is all main games. Main games is a category that I came up with because the leaderboard on SRC is literally a gigantic cluster of everything, which is the actual shortest way of completing the game, which is 4 of our games. And what I play, which is everything except for like Samurai and Megaton. Because, you know, you want to experience the entire game and have some fun, right? Yeah, I do too. Alright, so here we are. This is my only year on the Retrothon. We're gonna have some fun. And let's get started. 3, 2, 1, dance. So welcome to Kirby. This is probably one of my favorites in the series. Cute stuff. I've been playing this on randomizer lately, which is just in the very early stages of being able to work with Archipelago. Very early stages meaning it kind of blows up fairly often, but you know, that's kind of okay. So this is Spring Breeze, first game, just nice and chill. This is not part of like the true any percent. The true any percent starts at Dynablade and runs through those 4. And it ends with Milky Way Wishes. But I also do an arena run at the end too, which... should put a poll up in chat real quick. Or at least start working on one for... Okay. There we go. We'll figure out what I'm doing for the arena run at the end of the game with this poll, but we don't have to worry about that right now. This game is fairly intensive on flashing, so a little bit of a warning there. On my way. Do not care what happens to Helper 99% of the time. So in this game they call me the Ice Queen because a few of my powers that I use almost exclusively in the run are Ice, Mirror, and occasionally Hammer when it's necessary. Yeah, this is totally my favorite Kirby too. We're going to give Helper a new power which refills his life bar. I do not care what happens to him, but I want him to keep that particular power real fast. 3, 2, 1, hopefully... Okay, cool. Because sometimes Helper will go and attack la 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 and la la la, and well... that's not good for me at all. Because I want to not have them get hit by Helper's ice power and, you know, just actually blow up with Crash instead. Move. The Spring Breeze is really nothing special. This is like your very average introduction to the game. Except for this room, which is Death's Chicken Room, which kills me in most of my runs because I usually try to jump into it. I will usually freeze and then Kirby go boom. But this run we got through Death's Chicken Room, no problem. The sign of good things to come. Don't really care about the 1-ups or anything. Spring Breeze is really simple, so not worried about lies at all. We've gotten past the potential game over in the Death Chicken room, so I really don't care what happens next. And keeping ice for this particular game is really nice because it makes the final boss for this particular game a lot easier. You get this pole on screen here. I'm feeling a little bit saucy today, so I'm only gonna put up 2 options for that. Okay. Oh, you doubled? Really? Okay. So every time you damage DDD at all with anything, it changes his attack pattern. So he just actually double dove me, which is something you never see. So Ice will basically stun lock him for the whole thing. We sub 5s, that's actually really good. Gourmet Race is also not part of the actual 80% category, but it is part of the AMG that I run, so we're gonna play some dash, dash, dash. Dash for food. If you've all seen me run this at various marathons we've done, I usually put up an incentive for a second helping of Gourmet Race to, you know, help raise money for donation incentives. Oh, you actually got stuck there. That's actually not good. Just a little bit of giving back to you all with the incentives, but this is a for fun run, so I'm only doing this once. I'm hoping this new chair that I got is not going to pop anymore, which is kind of weird. Just denying DDD as much food as possible. It doesn't really matter because the winds will carry you through with as many points as you need to finish the run. Will we fit over 200 in our stomach is the real question. Looking good so far, actually. Oh yeah, 55 that run. We're definitely hitting 200. So this particular part, we're gonna grab not that. And Wing will help us just speed through the horizontal sections of this, which there's more vertical sections, but Jet isn't all that great for vertical in my personal opinion, so. I would love to see a ROM hack version of this that takes out all the flashing. That would be incredible, and I would use that for the rest of my life. I actually was just at SoccerCon this past weekend, and, well, I managed to find a little retro shop that I like to buy from that's out of the southern US called Retro Psycho, and they had a Japanese version of the DS version of Kirby Superstar Deluxe, and I hadn't had a copy of it since my last DS got stolen, so 211, yeah, easy. So I was happy to have that back, and I know their stuff is really good, so I trust them even if I haven't really played it to like confirm that it works, because they test all their stuff thoroughly. So Dynablade is the first game of the actual any percent run. On my way. I'm looking to grab probably Cutter for this first part. The blade dashes are pretty solid for getting through these squishy enemies here. Ice cream bar. Only beam will get you through to that one up over there, but that's fine, I don't need it. little bit of invincibility candy right there to catch us through to the remainder of the level. I kind of messed it up a little bit and lost a second. Chef Kawasaki go boom. So in Dynablade, you get shot out of a cannon for 1-ups and stuff. I want to obviously not do that. I'm gonna be swapping powers in this particular map to the other thing I am really good at and will be using potentially for the end of the run. Okay, buddy, that wasn't played at all. Alright, yep, Ice and Mirror are my two chosen powers. I am going to grab that food because I was kind of low. Toxic. Mirror dashing is really fun. The displacement will actually be used on defense as well as offense. It does a fair bit of damage, surprisingly, which... Stop that. Okay, buddy. That's enough of that. Trying not to stop as much as possible because the helper will catch up to you and demand food sacrifices and that wastes your time. Gonna pull up in chat for you. This poll will be up for the full 10 minutes. Winner will be used at the end of the run. Why did I do that? Okay, I have to walk now. That's definitely a lot slower. I did that too. Thanks. I don't want that. Get away from me. Let's completely mess that section up and just waste a whole bunch of time. That wastes all the time we got from Spring Breeze for sure. The helper will actually just kill this for you straight up. It's actually one of the few times helper is actually remotely useful. Give me that back. Rude. And the level's right there. I don't know why I bothered doing that. As long as you don't pass 7, you're not gonna really lose time. Not gonna worry about the secret areas, even though in the archipelago you can totally do stuff with those for a check, I guess. If you don't get through there, just go ahead and back off for a sec. Otherwise you go boom. Plasma is powerful on offense, but the charge up just kind of eats my hands and I don't like that, so. I used to love that power as a kid, but my hands are just way too old for it now. It's pretty strong offensively, just not necessarily in the RPG fights, which come a lot later. Stone rooms. This is stone yo-yo room, basically. Everything is on a slant here and is super annoying. As we try to go downhill here, I am not gonna grab the food because it just takes a ton of time. Okay, buddy, that wasn't quite at all. Instantly regretting my not food decision. Fortunately, there's some in here. Never mind. Just gonna go through. Go through and probably not die. Probably. If not, I'll just grab ice at the beginning of it again. I'd rather keep the mirror, but it's not mandatory at all. I'm a little bit out of practice. I haven't had the chance to play this in many marathons lately. I usually don't play it on stream as much anymore because I don't prefer practicing for a lot of stuff. It just makes me fairly nervous. Okay, Bugsy. You stay far away from me. Okay, that was kind of close. Thank you so much for the good luck. I appreciate it, Jamie. Definitely appreciate it. Off to a bit of a rough start so far, but we kept Mirror through that stage, and that's what I care about more. Stage 4 is fairly quick. We don't have to worry about dealing with the secret entrance here at all. That was a long fireball. I remember I was doing the randomizer for this, and I think fire had to carry me through a lot of it, and I hated it, every bit of it. It's one of my least favorite powers in the game. It's very immobile. Sure, it's highly destructive, but you can't really dodge anything. You just have to hope to turn yourself into a fireball to negate damage, and it's awkward. There is a power or two that will help you get through the shortcuts of that part, but it's not really worth tracking that down. You can get to the secret entrance through the cannon there. That ninja literally just jetpacked off, and that was actually pretty nice because that was the one that probably would have stolen it from me. So we got Mirror all the way through, which is great. And now we are on Gravy Train. Ignore the food right there because there's a tomato right here instead. Oh, you bastard. If you get the frame rate, you can totally hit it twice, once on your way in and once on your way back, but otherwise you're only hitting once per cycle. I don't like that position. Yeah, normally I would have put Hammer in the rotation for what do I use for arena power, but the last time I did that, that's what it got voted for, and it kind of just made things silly, so I'm going to challenge myself a little bit towards the end. Alright, looking good so far, and we're on to Dynablade, so I will definitely take that. Hydrating is a good idea. Highly recommend. Alright, so Dynablade with Ice and Mirror are two different things, but Ice is definitely the easier power here. Mirror's a little bit complicated because you are forced to auto-attack instead of really having any sort of offense whatsoever. But it's fine. He can also, I guess, hold, but I think it's just faster to smack her in the face. Okay. Mirror will protect you against her projectiles. And you're done. Grab in the right corner right there so you don't waste a ton of time walking over. And that's the end of Dynablade. For now. And you kind of orphaned her kids. Oops. But I did say for now because you help raise the kids and she's actually not dead, so hey, cool. Great Cave Offensive. This is the most annoying part of the 100% run. This is why I do not run 100%. Because the castle section is one of the most annoying things on the planet to navigate through, and no thank you. You also have to spend time collecting every single of the 60 treasure chests here, and I don't want to. Okay, we're just gonna ignore you. Fighter's kinda cool. It's probably the only time in the run I'll actually use it, though. Sometimes that cat wants to be a gigantic turd in charge there, but thankfully it didn't today. Rising Uppercut is really nice for gravity control. It's actually a reason why I actually use Fighter. Rude. Oh god, you're tying, really? Alright, I love you all, but don't tie with me. I just wanted a clear decision. I grabbed his projectile. Crazy. I was just trying to kick through. What a waste. I actually don't care about that. Because I'd rather have this instead. Honestly, it's feeling like a mirror kind of day, so I'm gonna go ahead and break the tie myself, I guess. Alright, here's the first of several refights of the game, Fatty Whale 1. Fatty Whale with mirror is incredibly simple. Just dash charge mostly. You can get a couple hits per cycle with charging backwards against the direction he's going. And there you go. Nice and simple. In between each of the Great Cave Offensive stuff, you go into this little minecart section. It's kind of funny in the randomizer because when you're BK'd in Archipelago, when you try to exit through these minecart rooms, you kind of just respawn through the wall of the previous part. And it's really funny. Right, so we're in the Crystal Palace section. I wonder if they got relegated, wouldn't surprise me. It's my Premier League team, and I know they're kind of awful, and I'm sad that they are awful, but such is life. I tend to pick really mid teams in sports to cheer for. It's a great adventure. It's just for a AMG, it's not fun to go through. This is the only time in the run between the 3 RPG sections where you're gonna see this particular enemy formation. Oh, you tripped. You poor thing. All the other ones will use the standard formation, which is Witch and then Dragon at the end. So yeah, 76 damage per cycle is not bad at all. Samir is actually pretty solid here, despite what most people would think. Ambition points, hooray! Beauty points, good. 1 love point. Jeez. Toxic. My goddess is the goddess of love and beauty, and you only give me 1 freaking love point. Good god. You silly, silly game. Alright, remember the castle? Yeah, I don't either. 3, 2, 1, bye castle. Ah, very good. I even like weigh my YAMLs in the archipelago to skip castle to screw that place. Absolutely not. As a giant switch of many different monsters that will get you your treasure inside of that. I obviously don't want to touch it, it just creates a bunch of lag. That room actually worked really well. I normally get hit there. If you memorize the pattern of this room, it's static every time. I, however, do not have brain space to memorize that. So it's okay to fluff your jumps like that just a little bit to make sure you don't actually... Oh, I don't know, bounce back up to the ceiling. This is the first Wham Bam Rock, which is a very static attack pattern. I kinda messed it up a little. Oh boy, did I mess that up. Your shield will protect you against the projectiles that ice will not fully block. You will take some damage with that. There you go. Not too bad. It's not the fastest clear of that, but good enough. There's no more enemies to really worry about in here, so... You're just climbing up the escape now. There's no timer because this isn't Metroid. But yeah, it's a fun mode. If you choose to 100% it, like, cheers to you. I respect you for 100%ing it. I just hate Castle. Teaches you a lot more about your route too, like, you have to put bomb and a couple other things in the run for 100%, so. Also, hammer and stone are required for 100%ing Castle too, which is blah. Alright, Revenge of Meta Knight, one of the places is going to take up most of the time in the run. What are we gonna do? Go crazy. Don't mind if I do. Alright, mission 1. Grab Yo-Yo and hold on to it for as long as humanly possible. And hopefully not lose it immediately. Yo-Yo makes this a lot easier going forward for quite a fair bit of Meta Knight. You can play around with this thing, it's not like a fight you're supposed to win or anything. Yum. Okay, that was massive brain farting. I actually was the one that messed that one up. That's me jumping in the water a little bit early too, but that actually kind of worked out. I'm actually not sure what her name is. But her name now is Street Pizza. freshly rolled with yo-yo. Speaking of pizza, where I live is home to 2 of the top 50 in the US and Italy for pizzas. And I've been trying it lately, and I completely agree that it's worth the slot. Auto-scroller section, just keep ahead of it. Don't try to get yourself caught on the walls or anything. You'll be fine. Usually I can memorize the layout of this, but I'm just really, really tired, so... Alright, this section right here is the actual dangerous part. The spin from yo-yo will not break the blocks, so you need to actually hit them or you will just kill them. Unless you're, for some reason, just standing still into it, which is really weird, but... meh. Alright. First, the actual, quote, hard encounters. There's a bit of a hit delay on Wispy Woods here, so you can't hit spam him. When he dies, joke's on you, the floor breaks and you fight double, but that's good because you can just rotate through here. And that takes care of all your invincibility frame problems. Whoop. And off we go. No, don't blast me. Come on, no. Yo-yo spin is so useful here. Highly recommend. Gets rid of that too. Worst case, you can grab an ice right there and actually, like, that will carry you for quite a bit too. Probably the only time I use yo-yo seriously. Okay. Alright, you're just gonna make my life easier with a double kill? Cool. Great. I love you. Normally I wouldn't stop for that food, but... Kirby hungry. Kirby smash. A little bit of button mashing here. There's not too much of that in any %/all main games category. One of those rare moments where it's really helpful to do that. Alright, for this section here, you must make a helper and grab fire for yourself temporarily. The left one is a fake and will just blow you up for damage, so don't do it. Oh hi, you're feeling much better. Sorry I beat you up. Here, fly with me. Alright, let's hope... Okay, we're good. I was gonna hope that yo-yo wasn't gonna run straight back into that and deny me yo-yo. Good. But yeah, this particular section has a really good banger soundtrack, so... Revenge of Meta Knight is definitely one of the better games in the collection. Grabbing does more damage, but you can't really grab everything due to how weird their placements are. Plus, if you don't kill them, they do crappy things like flying up there and just denying you a whole bunch of time. That worked real well. Dang. Nice double. Alright, basically they're telling you that you're going to be fighting the next boss, which is Combo Cannon, which with Yo-Yo is actually pretty decent. With Mirror it's pretty free, with Ice it's okay. But that's assuming we can get through Ninja Death Room. Ninja Death Room is the other room, in which case it's extremely likely that I die. Thankfully not this time. Ninja Death Room is not pleasant at all. Highly do not recommend if you have to stop in there, do it, but yeah, don't. Ninja Death Room is known for that because you are more likely to grab a ninja power-up if you die. Just to have something. That was terrible. Beating Combo Cannon here isn't necessary, but it makes your life a lot safer. Okay, that's not nice. That's not nice either. Okay, I was playing it kind of really loosely and I kind of paid for it. But we lived with Yo-Yo and that's all that matters. Got our life refill and onwards we go. These beams are really annoying this run. Thankfully they don't do that much damage. Thanks for the OJ. Appreciate it. Alright, here's a part of the run where you can swap to ice. This is the one time I say no to it. Because Yo-Yo is just that much easier to work with. For the purposes of Meta Knight only. I am withholding really obvious jokes from what I normally say whenever this run is actually done. In regards to some dialogue in this, but yeah. I'd like to not think about that today. Alright, so here's Heavy Lobster 2, which you actually will fight. And it turns out Heavy Lobster is destroying house and home, but they don't care because they want to kill you. Alright, small auto scroller up here. While you're climbing up, and the robot's going to start chasing you. As it starts charging, what I assume is it's basically like super giant leg jump right here. The AI on Heavy Lobster changes. I usually expect the dash right there. That was almost a good idea. Almost. Yeah, I just lost it. Crap. Well, losing it right there means I have to wait for the projectile to come out, which is gonna take a bit, because stupid RNG patterns. I got the very rare Jello right there. That usually doesn't show up. Alright, so we have no power here, so it's gonna be a little bit annoying. Going to have to improvise, and those options are terrible for improvising. Give me that. That's also terrible improvising. This was a pretty bad spot to lose my primary attack power. Which, sadly, I'm probably gonna have to lose right here. I figured as much. Okay, we kept it. That's the good news. And we used it accidentally, which is also dumb, but at the same time it's not, because there's a yo-yo spot right underneath us, so we can just grab our yo-yo again. So in all essence, that was not a terrible thing to do. There's also a 1-up right here, which is pretty useful if you took a bunch of crap damage in Ninja Death Room. Alright, buddy, you stop that right now. That chicken just literally backed itself out of there. That was actually really funny. Chicken, I'm gonna headbutt you. Kirby, no. And chicken's like, nah, I'm out. That'll eliminate a lot of lag out of here. You're waiting on these reflect lasers anyways, so missed. Missed again. There we go. Not necessary to kill it, but it does prevent a lot of damage. 3 hits will pretty much kill this. Later on, when you fight this again, it takes 4. That was probably a little better. There it goes. Yum. We're just destroying the shit casually. If for some reason you want to grab a helper here, feel free. Helper is not useful at all, but hey, it's free meat shield, so why not? Causes a little bit of lag, but yeah. More importantly, it will meat shield for you. And steal food, which is annoying, but yeah. I'm really too tired to care. Helper can live this time. Which is also really useful for when that kind of crap happens and you lose your power up, and then you can just totally jack it from them. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay, we're good. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. Actually useful helper. Feels weird, man. troll robot. Feels bad. They're out of here. It is now one enemy left on the ship. So we are gonna do things here. You know how this game wants to force sword on you? Guess what? I don't care. I meant to block that, but it's fine. Okay. Couldn't care less. Get teabagged. I guess curbagged? I don't know. That doesn't sound right at all, but whatever, I guess. Alright, so last enemy on the ship is dealt with. We now have to GTFO in an actual escape sequence. While getting trolled and lagged up by this guy. He'll be back, don't you worry, and in greater numbers, because there's a lot of Meta Knight lovers out there. That's why Meta Knight was in Smash 3, the forgotten bastard child of the series. And that is a really clean escape sequence, and off we go. Alright, my personal PB for this is 112. But that includes the arena trip too. Milky Way Witches is kind of cool because, well, to show off, your powers initially do nothing. However, there's a unique mechanic to Milky Way Witches in which it's really awesome. Let me show it to you. That's called not dealing with the stupid demons. There's these pedestals here. When you have pedestals, you have the power for the rest of the run. No matter what, you cannot lose this power anymore. Which is amazing. Move. There's one pedestal for every power-up in the game. I don't care about the majority of them. So we're not gonna grab really any of them except for Mirror because I'm the Ice Queen. I have to grab my namesakes. We're also gonna grab Hammer because Hammer is overpowered and abusable in this. Going back to Fall here. That'll take us to our end destination, which is this again. But hey, guess what? Ice is extremely abusable. Hooray! At the end of each stage, you go ahead and grab these right here to restore power to the planets. Oh yeah. If you are a really good D-pad masher, you can do a lot with static and plasma, but it's hard on your hands, so you gotta be careful. That would be kind of busted if you could be invincible while you were charged. This is a really interesting short form kind of archipelago thing. There you go. I wouldn't put this in an async because I've had several seeds that have just blown up in my face when the saves get corrupted. That's why it's an alpha game right now. But if you want to play Kirby Superstar, Archipelago is kind of the answer, but it's better just to play vanilla, honestly. For the time being, anyways. Later on, future me will be able to prove myself wrong. Kirby never takes fall damage, boo. Oh no, I consumed multiple powers. Guess what? Ice is right back. Let's go. Yeah, ice throwing does a stupid ton of damage too, so good stuff. I was never a real big fan of Dream Course. I took the long way, by the way, I don't know why. The short way is just going down normally. I also took the way that didn't have the one up here, so... Oops. Me not paying attention. Yeah, Dream Course and Avalanche I never cared for. I just played Superstar when I was a kid. A lot. And I mean a lot. Okay, so here's Fatty Whale 2. Fatty Whale 2 with ice is not too bad. It is slightly harder than Mirror. It's also slower than Mirror too. But he is pretty weak to it, so... Who knew that fish do not want to actually be frozen? God, that's a lot of them. And yes, that was a shield kill because shields can damage in this game when you are using ice. Or mirror, or a couple other things actually. Body shame wheel. Oh boy. We can rename it to something more PG, like, oh, I don't know. Large whale or something? Jumbo whale? Sky High is not that great of a planet for power specifically. You get jet and wing here, and that's about it. I think wheel too, which all those suck, so... Yeah, all the movement powers in this game are kind of terrible. Personal opinion, though. There's some people that swear by it. The world record will use the crap out of jet, so... I just can't stand it. That was a really clean first section. We're gonna go right twice, and then... that is our destination, because we're not hunting powers here. Krako does not like freeze either. It's actually really solid damage. There we go. Final Fantasy Ultimate. I mean, that's still a cool character. A giant death robot, more or less. Gee, I wonder what sort of magical Kirby power you get from this planet. Surprisingly, there's a couple more on this planet besides the ultra obvious one. I'm getting none of them. He goes super speedy slide in invincibility for him. It's great. Highly recommend. That was really dumb. I pressed the wrong button. Let's press Y right there. With the Y button, if you brake and then kind of gas it, you can actually get a nice little speed boost from the minecarts. I don't even remember what's in here besides fire. It's just like, I think it's stone's one of them, which is also pretty weird. Okay, buddy, I'll just deboost that. You can grab a bunch of 1-ups and stuff here, I don't care really. Milky Way is actually not that hard. Oh, Tatsu. So here's your first in this category beating with Chameleon Arm, who also does not like being frozen. Imagine. Most things in this game do not at all. Pretty free boss, honestly. Lava is molten stone, yeah? Pretty canon. I think there's like one more power besides that, but I never get it, so. Unless I'm doing 100%, which I never do anymore. Cavios, we're gonna pick up another power here, though. Move. Ah, I don't want to get cooked, thanks. Kirby, not food. I know, Kirby looks like a marshmallow, might taste like marshmallow. Kirby doesn't taste like anything. How would I know? I don't know. I roleplay for a living. Wait, I don't know what you want from me. And the power I'm grabbing is not bomb. Bomb is an okay power, but you can't damage yourself with it. And I just don't care for it. It's just a waste of space to me. It's a waste of space in scrolling through. It's a weird call. You usually hop back for your coconuts right there. Okay, so now we have Infinite Hammer, which is really busted. The free one up right there. Hammer for this section, since you're dashing through a bunch of stuff and not stopping, is actually really nice. But check out how abusable Hammer is. That does half damage. Guess what else does half damage? That again. Move. Sleepy kitty. Just gonna leave it alone. No need to go after it. Sleepy kitty is sleepy. Okay, let's see if we can time this pretty well. Probably not. Nope, that's bad spot. Maybe right there? Nope, it's bad too. You will get damaged if you guard through that, though. Unless you're in mirror or stone. That's terrible. Okay, that was toxic. Now you just die. Not a great Wham Bam too, but whatever, I guess. Star Fox 64, that's another great game in a kiosk for sure. I miss like kiosks for like many different games and stuff all installed into them. Those are like the glory days of gaming right there. It's where gaming was actually magical for kids and not what we have now, which is a bunch of weird gacha stuff. And this is coming from someone who plays gachas. I just don't think that gachas are what you get kids on. And my kids, whenever I have them, will not be playing gachas. Not until they're like 16. And I'll teach them later in life that it's actually good that they didn't get caught up in that stuff early. I'm gonna grab Yo-Yo here just because. Grabbing Yo-Yo here is completely optional and honestly takes way more time than it needs to, but it's Yo-Yo, it's fun. It actually makes this section slightly easier. Okay, if I had dashed through right there, I actually would have hit Gordo, so that turned out for the best. But yeah, it makes this section slightly easier, and I think the time that you spend getting yo-yo is like kind of negated right there. So it's like whatever. Alright, third one up. Hammer guy again. This is where the room where you also get plasma, by the way, which is in the upper left corner. I don't want it. Alright, Heavy Lobster 2. Well, 3 officially. What a terrible spot. Okay, just stop. Yeah, it does not deal as much damage as some of the other bosses in the game for hammer toss. Like 4 hammers, it's crazy. Try it before you buy it. I mean, that was the proper way of going about it, because games were $60 back then. You had no methods of looking up anything. You were stuck with what you got. I had some really weird stuff that my parents bought me growing up. A lot of things that I erased from my memory because those games were actually pretty darn awful. Alright, last planet here, Half Moon. Hopefully the last ninja grab of the run. Okay, buddy. Not the last ninja grab of the run. Thanks, pal. Yoshi's Island was 80? Holy crap. Definitely wasn't where I live. It was definitely 60 though, for sure, for that one. But I guess that was just more regional, your mileage may vary kind of stuff. Would you not blow me up, please? I'm gonna grab my last power here. Please don't. Okay, cool. That almost killed me. Gotta use hammer for this part, or ride mine carts, which is kind of slow. There's a little bit of food in here to eat though, so we're not completely starved. That is a great way to get people into gaming though, is just let them play it. Alright, dual mini-boss here. Both of them get completely destroyed by double hammer toss. Nice double. What a bad spot for them to be in though. That's such a waste. Alright, taking it a little bit slow in here. There is food though. Ninja's right there in that little bomb pickup right there, but I'm not grabbing it. Because Ninja in this game, it's fun, but it's not meta in the slightest. Yeah. Alright, wanna just completely break the game open? Here you go, me too. Welcome to RPG 2. This is where the enemies start getting static every round. Boop! Oh yeah, it's the Heavy Knight. Wanna deal 160 damage every turn? Yeah, me too. Dodge that. Alright, this is the last time you get to see what stats you get for defeating everything. A lot of courage points this time. 3 love points. Okay, we average of 4, that's good. Fever points. I hope I don't get sick. There was so many people sick at con this weekend. Like, literally just had people coughing all over me. It was so freaking gross. I'm like, oh god, what the hell's wrong with all of you? Well, the obvious things, but yeah. So Heart of Nova will give you a little bit of a shmup to it. It's nice and fun. Does score do anything in this game? No, just fun. And sometimes that's all you really need in life, right? It's just fun. Ow. Rude. Oh god, they're actually trying to kill me. Okay, we're not having fun anymore. We're just gonna go through and end this. Okay, we're gonna kill these in a set order. Kill in the first 4. Skip 5. Because when you skip 5, oh my god, that's so bad. That turned so freaking early. We actually have to one cycle this. It's so disgusting. Might die. Yep. Damn. That was such an awful death, and it's hopefully the only death I have this run, but it's such a bad one. That never happens. Because that's supposed to happen when you do that. And it's not supposed to immediately turn away from that one. Because there's actually no way of dealing damage to it because you can't turn the ship around. You're stuck in forward facing. So yeah, I was gonna die no matter what because of that. That is so heartbreaking. So that's what, like a 30-something second time loss? I don't think we PB here anymore. Mark's 1 will always throw blades first. But after that, his attack pattern tends to change around randomly. No, so when it happens, it's usually because, like, you kill something a little bit too early. But the fact that it happens is extremely rare. It's just really, really bad. Hammering here is actually pretty easy. That's why I didn't include it in the arena vote earlier. You are actually kind of trolling? Weird. I actually got it before he black holed. Nice. Alright, that's the end of that. Now we reset wherever the heck the reset button is on this. There we go. It's different on the simulator. Alright, that opens up arena. I told myself earlier because there was a tie, I'm gonna go ahead and grab mirror. I would have grabbed dice otherwise. Unless, like, mirror had won flat out. Because mirror is gonna give me a little bit more safety here and get me a decent tie to make up for that garbage. Pretty easy halberd too. Bam Bam 3. Bam Bam with mirror is fine. It's pretty safe. I say pretty safe, but not entirely. Sometimes button inputs will just get eaten like that. No, I don't PB here anymore. Alright, Heavy Lobster, what is this, 3 or 4? Like one of the most used bosses in this game. He kind of trolled me because I was expecting dash first. That's his usual opener. It's usually dash and then projectile instead of dash fire or whatever the heck it felt like doing here. Okay, buddy, you can stop that right now. That wasn't a good Heavy Lobster at all. Twin Wispy is fine. Not taking damage here. Camellia, don't take damage here. Or if I do, it's because I'm stupid. One of the two. Okay, I'm bad. I don't want to get grabbed though, that'd be a lot of damage. Alright, so I'm kind of low here. What is this? Yeah, I can actually die from that. If you get sumo grabbed here, or like ice eaten and then grabbed, you're just straight up dead. So yeah, bomb right. Healing right there is a good idea. Woo, I can't believe you didn't grab me. That's crazy. I would have been dead from the damage anyways, but still, that was absolutely nuts. Alright, DDD2. Easy. Free. Because, you know, attack pattern changes every single time you hit them. And basically because you're in mirror dash constantly, you just don't take damage. That is such a weird spot. Get hit in the nuts. Dynablade, don't need. Yeah, there goes my 112. It's unfortunate. Yeah, the safe thing to do is just to mirror and mirror hold right here. Slow, but safer. Combo cannon I will heal for, because that thing sucks. If you get picked up, grabbed twice, like shot, you're dead, so. But how do you deal damage to combo cannon like this? Simple, just mirror hold. I was waiting for that. That was a fast one. RPG 3. This is fine. Standard combo you got last time. That was pretty bad. This isn't the best run I've had in a while, but it's not bad either. First hit, didn't it? When they retreat, they basically nullify all damage, so it's unfortunate. That's the only one that does double stars, so it brings out 5 total. Like Red Dragon only shoots 3. So if you're using ice here, you basically want to go ahead and hold your breath because it will just deal damage to you if you absorb it through guard. And that can kill you, so be careful. Link. No stats for this one, because obviously, you know, time. Low, and la, easy. This is pretty free with mirror. Except when they have a Gordo, that's kind of annoying. Yeah, how am I supposed to deal with that? Okay, let's not get trolled here this time. Skip. There you go. See, this is what's supposed to happen. Excuse me. My voice has not been all that great lately, so... Especially after the convention. And we got parking right there. Parallel parking, baby. Fatty Wheel 3? 3 or 4, who knows. If you've been paying attention, you know the answer to how many times this thing has spawned, but I'm too tired, so I don't know. I stopped paying attention. Krako with mirror is also a pretty big joke. Only 2 tomatoes so far, nice. No food for you. But we still haven't come across the ultimate mega boss with 4 marks yet, which is kind of weird. He's showing up late. His own creature killed him. Neat. The power of mirror compels you. The iframes on Wispy 1 are kind of annoying. There's our mega boss. This thing can actually kill you, by the way. Mega boss down, mega boss down. Oh, speaking of mega bosses, good grief. Save you for last, alright. Haha, damage armor your projectile. Neener, neener, neener. Ow! Yeah, you can't block that. That just hits you for a ton. And here we are. The final showdown. Time will be after Marks 2. But wait, I'm doing my own timer. Rude. That's such a weird spot for you. I see, that's the reason why I chose that. Just over 120. If we hadn't died on Heart of Nova 1, that would have been sub 120. But yeah, that's GG. Thank you, RGL, as always, for loving me enough to throw me in the marathon, the biggest, greatest of the year for us, which is Retrothon. This is my one and only scheduled run for this marathon, so you'll see me around and helping out in the back and such. Coming up next, we've got Super Metroid Dark Home Hospital. This looks like some sort of ROM hack. Thank you for the GGs, appreciate you all. I'll see you all in chat over the week. There's still lots of games to come, so please make sure you follow everybody that's come across that tickles your fancy for gaming, and I stream sometimes. I have streamed a little bit less on Twitch lately because I have been hyper busy, but things are calming down now until June, so looking forward to seeing you all soon. Catch you all later. Have a great rest of your marathon.